Ever since I exclaimed, "Don't know," they found her not long after the information broke.
I sat there transfixed by the thought she'd ended up in the water somehow. Ever since then, I've never believed it was a mere DUI, and ever since then, I felt changed, somehow, different, somehow. Maybe it was watching the KCRA footage of her car being drugged from the water that did it. Seeing her car carelessly tipped over and the contents float away, including what looked at the time to me to be a white sweater. In hindsight, the KCRA footage likely showed skin sloughing and the results of them dumping the car out, and, well, they edited it out to keep it away from us. Perhaps.
Why? Ask why. After you figure out what, and what it felt like / looked like / smelled like, etc. Dig as deep as you can, inside of yourself, and view the facts through the eyes of those involved, using empathy, using insight, using your heart and heart light. Keep asking why. As you go deeper, if the holes in the Swiss cheese start lining up / you start getting feedback from those involved, you know at that point that what you're digging for exists. It's real. You can feel it. Surround yourself in your inner mind with the facts of the person you are channeling and, well, sometimes there's sights / sounds / feelings and even motive that come to light. At least for those of us who have learned the hard way how to hone and polish the thoughts falling away from others when you look into their eyes. Kiely knew that people on this world all have that gift. You can feel things. It comes to you without having to be said. If you look hard enough, if you come at it from the perspective of what would I be trying to say if I looked that way / acted that way / said those things, etc., what would it take to make my face, my eyes, my expressions the same? We all have this gift. Some are just a little more in tune to it. I'd like to give this nugget away to the world, just as Kiely tried to do when she penned the lyrics of her swan song. What if Kiely knew that we'd all know someday? We'd feel it. What if she knew that her passing would be significant enough, and if it was trumpeted enough by those involved, it would make headlines? For those who cannot speak a word, that amplification of their message would be ingrained into the efforts a person might make to leave enough breadcrumbs behind so that we could all follow them. If it was stark enough, and in contrast enough to the current world events involving pedophilia and demon worship, adrenochrome, and child abuse / sacrifice. Would that get your attention? It sure got mine.
You see, Kiely knew enough to know we'd know enough to know we'd care enough to want to know more. Her dying was like a flare to the world that sometimes you just don't. Along the way making this channel, I've tried so very hard to follow her breadcrumbs. I've tried to explain how I got there, without actually saying it. I've tried to give others insights into what Kiely's light may have looked like. Along the way, I cried for the first time in 10 years or more. When I realized that the cost was too high and Kiely's messages cost to send was so high that there really must be something terrifying involved. Something worth her efforts to send a shooting star to the world / to save her brother / to save her town / to save the other kids that are chained up, locked in cabins, over the winter, suffering from constant PTSD and fear of what would happen if they spoke out. Fear of retaliation by a group within the town of Truckee that's involved in some heavily beeped up stuff. A network of child abusers who foist their children into a world full of demons and predators, and instead of protecting them, these beeped up freaks molest their kids and prepare them for their upcoming initiations into a heinous world of neglect, abuse, sexual abuse, dark deeds, the worst of the worst, _ devil worshippers and their ilk. Kiely had friends, like Epstein had friends. Like those in the elite had friends. Like it's alleged against Hanks and the other island visitors? Her friends would come over and stay the night and never leave her alone. She traveled the world as a plaything? Beeped up stuff. I'm sorry to go here. But that's where this rabbit hole leads, at least for me. Someone who has been there in life and had a parent take advantage of the fact they were drunk every day to explain away their monstrous behavior. Maybe I'm just full of it and don't have a clue, but these thoughts come from within her. If you look hard enough, if you care enough, and if there's enough sincerity to the views obtained, why did I take this channel down? I was asked to. I felt like I needed to show people that this ain't about anything other than trying to share Kiely's light with those in that town. And get the talking done. And get it out there. So others in Kiely's orbit could breathe a little easier knowing that Kiely's messages in a bottle have been received. That they weren't lost with her death. That her light still shines and will continue to do so. She didn't die in vain. She got it out. Her painful message is that there's a beeped up island in the middle of Truckee and a whole lot of other kids live on it. Live and breathe it. Live and bear it. Faked it to make it. Under their skin. Always present fear and PTSD that if they make one sound, well, they're next. So I took the channel down. To give them some time to think clearly. To give the parents involved some lead time. And to get ahead of it. So I took it down. But Kiely's message needs to be shown. She wanted to live forever. She wanted to be martyr. She wanted to be the poster child for other kids to unchain themselves and learn the needed skills of self-defense. She wanted schools to change the way they did things. She wanted the police and other LE to change the way they did things. She wanted other kids to know that they didn't have to send messages in a bottle, that there was a surefire way of getting their painful messages out. A new way. A better way? I'm of the mindset that if Kiely's message, and Trinity's and Dante's, isn't understood by the people that make up this planet, these villages, the world as we know it, that not sharing and understanding it would be more tragic and more damaging and of potentially larger impact on the youth that live in Truckee and the adults than might be the case if Kiely's message is known. In other words, those kids have come to rely upon all of us out there looking at these images and thinking these thoughts as a solemn relief that helps on the way, that there's a light at the end of the tunnel, that it was not all in vain, that changes will be made and that those poor kids in their locked hands and chains aren't going to be held there forever. We heard you. We understand. There's painful, torturous daily events in those kids' lives and in other towns across the land. Daily torturous events. They have always been there. They will always be there unless we care enough to try and make a difference. I care enough. So, on August 4th, 2023, this channel will relight. On August 5th, 2023, I plan to upload a video that flat out doesn't hold a bleeped up thing back. Not one bleeped up corrupt town, devil worshipping, sold out and bought law enforcement, and elite controlled event. I'm gonna blow the whole lid off this thing and tell Kiely's story my way. All of it. Every painfully imbibed source of light I empathized with Kiely over these last 340 plus days. Every bleeped up one of them. So her light doesn't die with her. So Trinity's voice gets shared. So Dante's voice is known. And more than anything else, so that those kids in Truckee and its vicinity in close approximation to Reno and South Shore Lake Tahoe, so those kids can keep on keeping on holding on to the hope that I hope, you hope, the world hopes, we can all maintain. Or the peeps involved can get this off their chest to the FBI and others before I have to. Before is better. Get it off your chests your way. Bleep the Truckee way. Or not. For Lindsey, yeah, her locked nature is clear, too, and for the others closely involved in the true overwhelmed, ex-hippie, the real ones, freaks that like to prey on their own, prey on the children, prey on their pain, prey on the community's only heart and soul and terrify them all in the process. People packing up and getting the F out. They don't feel safe anymore. Or law enforcement can show these poor souls that help is on the way. Either way, August 5th, 2023, 1 year after her alleged demise, is going to be Fireworks Day. Sarah Connor knew that fate's not preordained. It's what you make. Those are wise words. Make yours what you want it to be. Keep integrity close. Believe that the high road is the only road. Act in ways that promote harmony, not hate. It's what you make. For Kiely. For Shep. For Mags. For those like her. I am like Kiely.
No.